Hello there, everybody. This is NoName117 Spore, and today I am here. Oh, hold on, I'm having an issue here. Need to shrink the background. I was having this issue when I originally did the stuff, but I forgot that changing the background or I needed to fix the background on the Planet Coaster page itself. There we go. Let's give it a moment to load in. There we go, Planet Coaster. Back with NamelessWood. And today the goal is to build an invert, and our frame rate while pause is about 30 frames a second or lower. How many people are in the park now? I'm just curious. Oh, we have a bunch. We have some walking in, we have some walking out. It's been a month with our new coaster open, and I think that caused attendance to definitely increase with a new high prestige ride, like Etaruka Magicus, as well as improving the prestige for Fairy Flight and the Whip. In terms of other rides we have to relocate at some point, I am interested in relocating Tumbleosity, Swift Eagles, and the Tornado to clear up more space, as well as here. But today the goal is to get an inverted coaster. Actually, I know that hotel size challenge is very easy to do, and I probably should just do it real quickly to get money. But I denied it anyway, so who cares? Already making a lot of money. So right now, we're waiting on research to complete. What do we get? Okay, we have the coaster now. There's something about continuing to do research here, but in actuality, I'm probably not going to do so. Although I probably will want, like, loony balloons or... Yeah, loony balloons might be good to get. Anyway, yes, we now have the money, or not the money, we now have the research for the new coaster. Now, the big question is, when should we aim to open it? I'm trying to remember which rides over here are not better optimized, by the way. I think at this point, yeah, Tornado isn't, Tumbleosity isn't. That's it. That's it. Those are the only unoptimized rides. I'm going to wait a little longer. I'm going to wait till we have more money to build the inverted coaster. The inverted coaster, whatever it will be named, will be built in this area over here. And it will have a nice counterpart to the theme of this ride. It's pretty neat though, just seeing them kind of coast along here. Unfortunately, getting the smoothness down on this new coaster might actually be a little difficult, just due to how laggy the game's getting now. I don't think the game's liking this performance. It would be, would definitely be very nice to get, like, the cheat engine thing, which slows everything down, and then film point of views with using that. But I'd have to figure out how to do that. And it does sound risky. It does sound like you have to know what you're doing to actually be able to do that. This is a good ride, though. A little bit of airtime. So, I guess the big question is, what year should I aim to open the new coaster in? Should I aim for a year 31 opening, or should I be aiming for a year 32 opening? I'm thinking I'm going to be aiming for a year 32 opening, to be honest. We will also have to do more additional theming along here, and eventually we're going to have to get, like, proper railings and such in the park. But, yeah, no, additional theming along some of the pathways and stuff will have to come, probably first. Especially here. That's a good shot, though. Look at that flying by. From, like, down on the pathway. You're just sitting down here, you know, looking at the trees, and, yeah, it right comes up over the tree line. That's cool. You know, Etaruka Magica's just over here. Good view from the queue line. Or not the queue, the exit line. Oh, they don't get a good view over here. I do need to get fences in. Alright, there was an issue with the back of the sign, which I didn't realize until after I had done everything. So, I have to fix that. Which means I have to move one of these out that far. And then take this. Actually, I need to move that slightly further. And then I gotta take this and move it just a... I would say a little bit out, but no, we're going the full distance. There we go. Now that looks better. At some point, maybe we can add some text to the back of the sign, like, enjoy your day or something. But not quite yet. Oh my god, how was I this stupid? To open it with that. No. Hello. You're going there. Good. Alright, so that should be that issue done. I'm actually going to save this again as a special save. Because I'd like to do these special saves to kind of show the park as it was in certain states. And it turns out that now the state of when this coaster opened is going to be a little... What? Little flawed. A very not professional opening. Nope. April 15, year 30. And I will also save it under... Okay, come on, let's have it load again. I know this is taking a little while. I mean, good news is the money we have in the park is rapidly increasing, and I'll be able to get that inverted coaster in here very shortly. Okay. There you go. So save it once again as our main NamelessWood park. So we have the zone as it opened, but now we have the zone as it really should have been opened. Okay, come on. I pressed T multiple times to actually zoom in properly. Anyway, yes, it's invert time. Okay. So I'm trying to think about how I want to do this. How do I want to build this coaster? Because I know the area I want to build it in. But I want to make it feel like it's closer to the ground. And I want to make it feel like it's well themed in a nice counterpart to this, but not where it's flying through a whole bunch of greenery, but where it is more, what's the word? Menacing. But it also will have that nice water flyby. Or the brake run. So, that's the question is, where do I put it? Where do I put the lift hill? Because it might be a good idea to have the lift hill going up this way. And just getting a good view at the park. Yeah, I think that would be good. So, if I'm going to do that, we probably want the coaster station itself to face this way. Yeah. Alright, so let's go up. Let's elevate it. Alright. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause the game to get my frames back. And just think about this more. So, we should probably add in the brake run first, which is going to be more on this side, I'd imagine. Now, of course, I don't know if I probably want the guests to... I'll have the guests enter through this way, exit through this way. I think that makes more logical sense. Yeah, brake run on this side, I think, makes sense as well. Then we can probably walk, guess, like under the brake run or something. Go 50 degrees here. Or not. Okay, come on. Okay, so slight up angle. And I'll do maybe 40 degrees. And then this will be where this will be where the brake run is. How many... Hold on, let me look up pictures of B and M inverts. Just real quickly, I want to see how many train or cars these normally have. Oh, that's a Planet Coaster one. I don't want a Planet Coaster one. I want a real life one. So I'm looking at some real life pictures. Let's see. So this looks like Great Bear. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Great Bear has 8. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Some of these are games, so obviously I don't want anything from a game. There is one of Raptor, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nemesis looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That's not a B&M or next one I saw was not a B&M invert, so it doesn't matter. Looks like a Batman clone, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 7 or 8? I can't tell if that's 7 or 8. Based on everything I'm seeing, it looks like most have like 7 or 8 cars to them. So, if we get rid of the forward station, we get a 6-car train. If we keep it in, we get a 9-car train. I'm going to reduce the number of cars down to 8. Friction multiplier will go down to 0.9. Okay then. And I will turn supports off because I do intend to custom support this ride. However, I will turn catwalks on for this portion. Okay, so that right there would be where the transfer track would go. I'm just trying to imagine how it would actually work, depending on where I could kind of pass the pathway through it. I could pass the pathway through it here and then have the transfer track go to this side. Or pass the pathway underneath the lift hill, which is what I might do. Alright, so then over here, we're going to have some friction brakes. Although, I don't know, maybe I will go an additional set of I'll go an additional set of block brakes. Here, and we'll have to adjust some trees around and such. Oh, you know what? Here, I can deal with a set of block brakes there, and then a set of friction brakes here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly relocate this. So it'll move that way, it'll move this way. And then, yeah, the transfer track will go in here. So I'm not looking forward to building that. Honestly, it might be the case where I try to get just the layout done today, and then I don't want to bother with any of the theming today as much as I hate to say it. Now, do note that today is going to be a 2 livestream day for me. I've got Among Us planned later. So, this will not be the last time I livestream today, but I might temporarily I might have to put the series on hold for a little bit after this. Just realizing all that I have to do now for it. Alright, track support's off. Alright, so we're going into this sort of low turn. Actually, no, I'm going to tighten it up. Then kind of peek up a little bit. And over here, actually, you know what? Hold on, let's do this. And then over here, go for that. I'll do a set of straight track here, and then I'm trying to remember how I need to adjust this to make it look heart-lined. So I'm gonna need to adjust this up a bit, and then you. Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna. Am I gonna need to adjust it up? No, I need to move it more this way, I think. And then you, I think I need to adjust up a little more. Okay. So then, I think I'm gonna put in a small 4-meter section of friction brakes, followed up by a our lift. And I think maybe 30 degrees is is 30 degrees good for an invert? Invert, lift, hill. Just want to get a good angle of one on the side. Yeah, 30 degrees is probably good. Now, how tall can we make it go? That's the question. Okay. So at this point, we're kind of going over the pathway with it, which might actually be an interesting idea, having that interaction with the pathway. Actually, this is pretty tall for the park. I mean, look at it. If we are up... Oh god. Oh god. Planet Coaster. No. No, Planet Coaster, don't do this to me. There you go. Alright, if we are up here, for example, is there anything which is taller than us? I think praying mantis might be a little taller, so maybe we'll go here and then crest over. I mean, we're going... Let's see, the lowest this coaster gets, I think it's to like -6, -7. So we can probably go that low on our invert too. Actually, if I zoom out a little bit over here, how does that compare to Johnny Joe's and Praying Mantis? Praying Mantis might be a little taller, but Praying Mantis isn't going to dip as far below, or as far low as this one will. Okay, so I actually kind of want to start it out more similar to Great Bear. I'll just quickly Google that. Just to kind of see how they do it on Great Bear, or how, not how they do it, but how this portion here looks. I might need to go like 11 and down one more. Alright, so I'm going to do a section of 4-meter track and then follow it up with the 5-meter track. Okay, so I want to do a Great Bear style turnaround and then drop it. And I'll probably drop it this way. Bring it around, yeah, bring it around here, drop it through here, and then go around this way. So if I'm going to do that, then I want to turn it this way. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so if we want to start our turn, we'd normally do that, but we'd also kind of start curving it in this way. I'm actually going to go a little higher and a little bit more this way. Actually, you know what? Alright. Oh, greater turn here. Okay. Now, kind of level it out a little bit. Kind of make it go back up. And then here is where we are going to start the main drop. Right, so kind of rotate it over. Kind of continue rotating it this way. Do this little maneuver here. And now we go. Now we go for it. Oh, not quite that much. Now, okay, yeah. So, start the test. I'm going to need to see the forces on this. Alright. Come on, Planet Coaster! Can you stop doing this every time I boot up the... 30 minutes into the live stream, we just lost, like, all the lift hill progress. Oh my god, what I need to do is I need to open the game up, run it for 30 minutes, and intentionally crash it the first time I play it at this point. Because this is getting to the point of stupid. I have to now Control-Alt-Delete, go to Task Manager, restart Steam itself, reboot Steam, wait for it to reboot, and then load Planet Coaster and reload the park where we last left off on the last autosave, which, honestly, we might have the lift hill. We just lost the entire turnaround. All that progress, gone. The first part of the actual layout, just gone. Yeah. Alright. Why does this game crash so much? Yeah, this is just to note, this is how long it is taking it to load in. Actually, Steam's still having some weird issues on me. Okay, well, Planet Coaster's loading and I might as well check what I got on my phone. Heard a buzz. I'm just waiting for anything. Hey, there we go. There we go. We're back in the Planet Coaster. Alright. Time to go see what progress we lost. Which is probably that entire turnaround. We should have up to the top of the lift hill. Hey, Misties. I've started on the coaster. Unfortunately, the game crashed on me. Fun. So now I'm waiting for it to boot up again. I should have the lift hill done. I think I have the brake section done. Well, the lift hill isn't quite done. The top of the lift hill needs to be. Yeah, Planko got a Planko. Yep. I mean, this is a challenge park, and it already has a lot of rides in it, and it already has a lot of scenery in it, so it's not running particularly well. I'm actually going for a kind of Great Bear style start to it, where you have that turnaround where you get to kind of see a lot of the park from up high, because I feel like that's a really good idea here, before eventually dropping it down low and having all the fun. But yeah, no, gotta sit through a loading screen. Unfortunately, I had the turnaround done and was going for the twisting drop, and that's when the game crashed. So yeah, that's annoying. Okay, this is what I had. Okay, first of all, I know we have that restaurant task. Is the restaurant open? It is not. Why bother opening it when nobody's in this park anyway, or part of the park anyway, so maybe at some point I'll need to move. I'm thinking about moving the restaurant over here so that this area actually looks nicer. You know, this area is ugly, this area is good. But over here, this doesn't look nice. I need to rework the entrance. Happy with how this turned out. And thank you, Matoro, for hosting? Hey, how's it going, dude? I don't know if you're here or not, but yeah, thank you for the host. I'm really surprised. Oh wait, no, I remember what I was doing. I was gonna do another section of this. Hold on. It was one section higher like this, and then we went over the top. Well, yeah, hello. Just sitting here building a inverted coaster. Alright, so now I try to redo what I did. So, oh god. Go back to this control. I like this control scheme more. So now I have the weird thing where I kind of start by twisting it and turning it, but I gotta figure out how to do the heart lining without actually applying any heart lining to it, which is so difficult, but so worth it for the smoothness of the ride, which is probably going to go unnoticed due to how much laggier this park's getting. Alright, you know what, stay kinda going down, actually. And then eventually I'll have to custom support this whole monster. That's gonna be fun. Okay, yeah, you know what, 25 is good. So keep it going down a little bit so that we do kind of get that a little bit of an exciting kind of drop with this. And then I'll actually tighten it up because we're not at a point where it's really or have to be concerned about the G-forces so much in regards to tightening it up. Custom supports. Yeah, custom supports can be very hellish. I have done them before. I've not done them on a B&M like this. I have done them on, what is it? I've done them on an Intamin. I've done them on a Mach. But yeah, they are as bad as they sound. But it makes the coasters look so much better. Actually, like, okay, this coaster is mostly regular supports, but there is actually a bit of a custom support going through here. Going up the lift hill, as well as this portion here is custom. I had to figure out something weird for this section, so that's custom supported. And I think Praying Mantis's loop over here, these are custom supports down here too. Actually, you can, when you get close to this one, far away from it, you can see the bits fade through. So yeah, a few of these are custom supported just to bring the coaster over the path successfully. Fancy. Thank you. But yeah, no, I've got to build the invert today. So my thought is, if we do this turnaround, we go into a curving drop this way, under the lift hill. We do probably an Immelman. Part of me wants to do an Immelman here, part of me wants to turn it around this way, if I can. Or a bit this way, so it's a little bit more close to the path, and then do an Immelman there. Go back this way, either under or over the lift hill, I don't know, and then over here do a Cobra roll. Bring it back over here, probably a loop somewhere in this area, or I don't know, maybe somewhere later on in the layout, and then kind of turn this all into a twisty, or a very twisty section, and try to bring it over the lake at one point, maybe even like twice. Actually, no, I could bring it along here and then bring it over the lake, kind of swerve it over the lake, maybe go for a helix here into the end. Or some element into the end, I don't know. Okay, you know what? I need to drop this more. Alright, there we go. Now we're dropping it more. Now we can kind of bring it back up a little bit, kind of get that Great Bear vibe going on. Right. Even it out. Start to turn a little bit this way as we do the turnover, because that will look slightly heartlined. And I know there is a heartline tool here, banking offset. I don't use it. It makes things bad. Okay, you need to get up and go find breakfast. All right. Enjoy your food. I hope it's good. All right, and let's finally go for a nice curved drop here. Is that looking good? Okay. I need to be careful. I need to manage these G-forces well. Let's hit play. I have it on test mode. We can see what it's pulling at the moment, and if I need to adjust anything. So we have this kind of very weird, wonky section here. Bacon. Ooh, bacon's always good. Good at getting... Good job, me. Good job. This is fixable. This is fixable. Alright, I'm gonna put one piece on there. That piece is eventually gonna get deleted. And I'm just gonna take all of you and drag you down. Alright, let's see the height now. That is now 0 meters because we have this weird section. Actually, you guys... Let's just smooth you out and see what happens. Delete the train so that we don't have any weird things going on. Okay, now we're going from 2 meters to 0 meters. That's a little better. Lift hill speed should probably be a little faster. Maybe 9. And then this section right here can be deleted, and we're right back to where we were before. But everything's normal, or everything should work now. So the train goes through, it hits the brake section. Now it's on the lift hill. That's gonna look good. How good will that look when you're underneath it, looking up? Oh yeah, that's gonna look cool. Man, this section of the park's gonna look so good compared to everything else. I need to modernize the rest of this park. I need to get fences in this park still. There's so much this park needs. Alright, so we're starting to get the drop in. I could actually probably go a little, not sharper? Sharper be the right turn? I don't know. How many laterals is it pulling? Very little laterals. So in terms of lateral G-forces, we've about nailed it. In terms of the actual drop profile, I think I've been a little too conservative at not curving it here. So, hello, get much more of a curve. And actually, I won't make it drop as quickly. I'll make it curve more, and then kind of make it drop. That's gonna be cool, though. Going through everything. There we go. Now we're getting to the point. Now we really just kind of start bringing it down. And maybe loosen up the curve a little bit as we do this. Yeah, there we go. That's the first drop I wanted right there. Let's just let the train go through again and see what G-forces it's pulling. There is a strong possibility I'm gonna have to bank this more. It looks like I probably will have to bank this even more, at least this top portion here. Let's see, so it's pulling about a little bit more than 1. There we go. It's actually only starting to get lateral G's here, so more banking. Alright, so now we're kind of going for the pull-up phase. As we go underneath the lift hill. And probably over the queue line, too. This is going to be a fun moment. That tree is going to have to get moved. Whenever we get this open, that tree will definitely 100% be moved. Alright, there's the autosave. Which apparently we need, because the game crashes so much. Although, to be fair, it only crashes the first time I try to play it in a session. Second time I open it up and try to play it, it works fine for whatever reason. I don't know why. Alright, there we go. Coaster's going over. Live data, how many lats are we pulling? Not many, not many. We're pulling about a little under 0.5, I think, which I think is where I want to keep it, so... I mean, I don't know, I think there are some arguments for going a little higher, but, you know, you don't want to be going above 1, probably, on a coaster like this. 0.5 is typically good, though. I'd actually have to see a good G-force assessment of one of these coasters. Because I do know some of them do have a little bit of a lateral snap to them on some of the elements. Definitely don't want to be pulling more than 0.5 continuously, but... I mean, little snaps might not be terrible. Alright, so... No, keep it a little angled. Alright, here is where I want to go for the Immelman. How many G's is it pulling? Looks like we were peaking at about 3.5 verticals. So we're solid there. I'm perfectly content with that. We do have to be careful about where this building's located, though, because we need a building around here for the transfer track section. Although, actually, this would probably be the transfer track. This would probably be, like, the transfer building. So the transfer building's either on this side or on this side. Or, part of me wants to put it on this side. But I'm a little worried we're going to bump into the station if I do that. Or both sides. Both sides is an option. I might do it on this side more, so I have the transfer track building here. The maintenance shed there, I should say. Which means that, yeah, we are going to have to do the Immelman and stop. So I'm going to pause it. I have a good sense of where the G-forces are at right now. Do this. I'll start to kind of uncurve it. And then I want to just... Oh, no, it needs to be more curved. Because we are going to hit that we are going to go over that transfer track here. So... delete this section. Actually, delete this section here. You aren't going to stay leveled out. You're going to continue curving. Okay, how much more do I need to pull up here? Only that much. So now is when we start to kind of undo the curve a little bit. Now that we're at a much better angle for pulling up into this. Right, so... okay, so just to figure out if I need the banking offset. Because this isn't banked properly, so I probably want to... is it this way I want to go? Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. So, we have our person here. I think I actually do want to curve it this way. Am I right? Let's say I go to a -1 banking offset like this. Yeah, that is the way I want to curve it. So I want to go more this way. Actually, I probably want to go more that way with this piece here. Oh no, I want to leave it about as is, and then as we kind of undo the turn, I want to do maybe more that, and then that. Oh, you need to pull up more. And I think that'll get the profile a little closer to correct. Alright, let's hope that we're not too close to the transfer track here. Because the transfer track would go out to this side. It might be the case where I just build the maintenance shed on both sides of the track. That's probably the idea I'm going to have to go with. So the transfer track moves out this way and this way, just because of all the space I have. But that's doable. You know, two maintenance sheds on either side. So now we pull up into the Immelman. Let's do a test just to see what types of forces the coaster's pulling at this point, because that does... I'm a little worried that's a little too steep. We hit 4.2. Where did we hit 4.2? Okay, that was probably like the last car in the train hitting 4.2. I'm actually okay with that. Honestly, 4.2, slightly higher than I want, but you know, that's an intense invert. You know, fairly intense invert, that's fine. You know, intense inverts are good in real life, so be good in game. Alright, so let's go over the top, start kind of twisting it this way. Alright, so then I've got to start moving it this way, and then we got to kind of rotate the track around a certain point here. It's good for an Immelman, too. I don't know, I'm actually gonna keep the track perfectly over for one more of these, so that this does count as like proper inversion. Actually, I curved this track, so we want it to be straight. Now we want it to start kind of curving this way. Actually, it might be a little too steep. I think it is. I think this one's a little too steep, actually. It's 21 meters. Our total height's 36 meters. I don't know how high we can get a coaster at this point. I'd imagine maybe 26 meters is probably 26, 27 meters is probably where we want to cap this element off at. Ideally, and it looks like we're going to be right about there. So do this sort of maneuver now. Actually, no, you need to probably be more over like this. Now we continue the turn this way. Now we start countering our movement. We still kind of continue to go down like this. Alright, move it back a bit. Like so. And now, I think we just heartlined that. I just manually heartlined that. Now there is a little bit of an issue here, and that's probably this section, which does need to be maybe a little more over. This section probably could be a little more over 2. But yeah, no, now we just kind of straighten it up a little bit. Gonna pitch it down, and then we're gonna turn it this way. And actually, it'll run right over its own lift hill. And that'll be a pretty cool experience, I suppose. Actually, you know what? Don't curve it yet. Don't curve it yet. Keep it a little straighter for the moment. Because I do kind of want that interaction here with the lift hill. Because I feel like that could be cool. I'll have to check the clearance on this. Now we kind of curve it. Alright, so let's see how this holds up. Through a weird Immelman. I assume we're going to get a lot of laterals here, but that's because this piece isn't perfectly adjusted yet. I'm more concerned about the verticals or the effective total force. Like, if we're getting a lot of laterals and a lot of verticals at once, then that might tell me that I have to reprofile this element. Looking at it now, though, it does look a little too drawn out, so I might want to bring this section up and this section down. Yeah. 100% that's what I want to do. So that drop this section. Still keep it going over the lift hill, if I can. And then raise up this section here. So it does look a little sharper. While continuing to keep the heart lining involved. And actually, we can have it level out a little bit more over the lift hill, I suppose. Why am I saying I suppose a lot? I don't know. Okay, a little bit of smoothing. I'm still having some issues over here. It looks better. It doesn't look perfect. It does look better profiled now. It's kind of weird, but it's going to be oddly shaped no matter what, because it's going over the lift hill, due to the space I have. So I think I'm going to have to leave it. Because ultimately, we're not really getting the pull-up part of it until later on. It's kind of like an Immelman, which doesn't pull up very much, just because I have to kind of curve it this way, and then probably curve it back into the Cobra roll. There you go, that's much better. What's the clearance like here? Yeah, that's not risky. We're fine. And what are the heat maps like on that? So vertical, what about the lateral? A little higher on the lateral. Hopefully that'll smooth out. And hopefully a lot of that lateral's actually from the more the heart line, or the fake heart lining I have, rather than the actual thing. And hopefully the heart lining itself will smooth out a bit too. Alright, so now we gotta go into our Cobra roll, so I gotta turn it this way. I'm not entirely sure how best to theme this portion of the ride, because I kind of wanted to like build the Cobra roll into rockwork or something, because I feel like that would be cool. But now I'm considering not doing that and just kind of leaving the Cobra roll there as its own thing. But maybe building the rest of the coaster, at least the lower to the ground moments around rockwork. Alright, so if I am going to straighten it up, I do kind of have to do this sort of thing. I kind of have to straighten it up, but I kind of have to rotate it a bit. So start by doing this, start by doing that. We'll go 0 there. I'll actually rotate it more this way as we rotate to this side, so that we do get a little bit of an illusion of heart lining. Alright, so now I'm gonna drop us again as we continue to turn. Ooh, part of me wants to go into a trench here, part of me doesn't. Or either we go into a trench or we just keep it low to the ground. Both of which are good options. I might just keep it kind of low to the ground here. Alright, so if we are going to straighten it up, we're eventually going to need to do this, but which way does it need to go? I think it needs to go this way, right? Right on that one. I think I'm right on that one. And obviously, a lot of the terrain here is going to need to be moved. Level out. Go up higher, go up higher. Go up a little higher. Okay, so in terms, okay, so it does kind of rotate the way I want it to. What section will 100% have to be smoothed out, though? It is not smooth at the moment. Alright, it is Cobra roll time. Although let's do a section of straight track first. Screw it. We're doing a section of straight track. A small section of straight track. It's not straight track, I still had it slightly curved to the side. No. Now we go into the Cobra roll. Alright, so Cobra roll can be a little bit more complicated of an element, because we could just go straight up, or we could rotate out a little bit to the side and go up. And if we go out a little bit to the side, I think we can get a little bit more compact of an element in here. We are definitely going to have to move these trees around, though. You know what? Let's go out to the side a little bit. I know it's doing that, so doing this. I probably want to turn it this way. So start with this. And now we pull up. Now we pull up into the Cobra roll. So Cobra roll, a loop will be the technically the fourth inversion at this point, but the third element, or third major element. Although there's a chance I could go 0G roll then loop, that could be fun. Have a loop later. Straighten it up a little more. We're kind of at our curve angle now. I need to be able to see this. I can't see this right now because of all the trees in the way. No, I would say let's pause, but I need to just check how much, how many G's the train's pulling when going through here. That's going to be a little bit of a dead spot of the ride, to be honest. Let's elevate that up. I missed how many G's it was pulling. Vertical. That's lateral. It's not pulling many. Vertical, it's pulling about 2.6. That is good. That is very good. That's low. It's like lower than it should be. We're not pulling enough G's. We need to get up to like 3 or 4. Or you know what? We need to peak at 4. That's the thing. Alright, so at this point, I would say straighten it up. I'm not going to perfectly straighten it up because I think that'll kind of ruin some stuff with it. Alright. So 26 meters here. The train's still going a little fast. We probably want to be going maybe 24, or not 20. Don't want to be going 24 meters, want to be 24 meters high. That's what I'm thinking with the Cobra roll. That's not pulling many vertical G's. At this point we can go sharper. We can definitely go sharper here. Wow. I lost so... Why am I out of money? Where did all my money go? Okay, what's our research? We do have loony balloons done. Let's just get that real quickly. Let me see what's going on with my money situation. Those rides are filled. That's what's going on with my money situation. Good job, you broke down. Hey mechanic, fix Falcon or Flight of Raptor for me. Okay, now our money's increasing again. And that ride's open again, so we're good. We're still good. We're still making plenty of money. I'll actually pause it for the moment just so I can kind of get the... You know what, I'll leave it unpaused while I get the top of the Cobra roll done. But once I get the top of the Cobra roll, I'll probably pause it again. I am almost kind of wanting to leave this coaster more, you know, with some parts visible above the tree line over here rather than trying to theme everything like I did with the other one. So that might be a good idea. Actually, it might be cool to come down Johnny Joe's and just kind of see this coaster in here. Especially going around here and actually seeing the Cobra roll. Might be a really cool angle. Okay, so I want to straighten it up here. Like that. Angle it over to 0. Let's angle it over to 0. Part of me wants to actually bring it over this way more. Let's do that. Now curve it over much more sharply. Oh god, we're already at 23 meters there. Oh god, I have to curve this over way more sharply than I am. This Cobra roll has to be way sharper than I anticipated. So I think this is where we're going to start with the actual... No. I need to go down here. I need to curve this section more. Honestly, I'm going to go another section down. So yeah, most of that just got deconstructed so I can make it sharper. Because we're already at 23, and I want to be at about 24 at the top of this, so... Right. so, okay, let's bring you out to 0. And just kind of go with whatever this leaves us with. Okay, come on. Not really that good. Let's go here. I think we still have a little bit of height to work with. So now we're at 19. Now we're kind of curving over. I'm actually going to angle it out a little bit this way so we kind of get that heart lining down. Okay, so technically one car isn't making it over, which means I think I was right that, or was kind of right that this needs to be a little sharper. Alright, so now we actually start the main part of the Cobra roll. So do that. The Cobra roll would have some laterals on it, certainly. Wait, oh god, I just deleted a piece because it's saving. Hands off while it saves. And give it a moment. Give it multiple moments. You move the mouse around, but that means nothing. Still saying saving up here in the corner. Well, stop saying saving up in the corner, that's when I can move again. Or I can tell when... Or I can tell... Oh my god. Okay, we're sorry the Planet Coaster has stopped responding. You can end the game right now and help us track down the issue. No, I would not like to end the game now because it just saved successfully. That was almost a crash, but it wasn't a crash. I'll take it. There is no way I'm going to be able to keep building this park on stream at this point. Oh my god, this is... I'm a little worried this is going to be the last episode. Because this is just having so many issues now. Planet Coaster's like really struggling with this. Oh, you need to be sharper, I think. Probably more this way, too, or even more this way. Alright, now we would kind of do this. And then now we actually do the Cobra part of the Cobra roll. Okay, so my issue is going to be replicating this section here. Oh, that's also going to be annoying as hell. Because we're going to get track limit exceeded when I try to smooth this thing. Oh, God, I hate Planet Coaster sometimes. But anyway, this is at the exact height I want it to be. Right, so... So we actually do need to be sharp. Maybe more like this. Alright, so we need it to level out to 0 here. Is that too sharp? That might be too sharp. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, instead of leveling it out to 0, I'm going to level it out to -10 on this section. And then over here, we're going to go to +10. Just no matter what. So this is a little bit more drawn out of a Cobra roll. I think that'll work better for my build style, though. Or at least my smoothing style, because I think the more drawn out elements do work better for me, from what I found. Okay, so we're trying to replicate this piece right here. I'm probably going a little too intense for that. And here we do need a sharp piece going mostly sideways, mostly up. Alright. So now we are... No, you need to be more, not quite like that. You need more, be more like this. Now, this one's the one which goes a little bit beyond sideways. It's mostly, it's pretty much straight though. And it's starting to curve over. Alright, so this piece is going to be curved over this way. This is an odd, bit of an oddly shaped cobra roll, but it might work with smoothing. Okay, so then you're the one which is kind of going over the top. Like so. I'm going to have to manually adjust this, I think. Curved out this way. No, I'm being stupid here. Hold on. Hold up. No. You need to be this way. Okay, so you are like that. You need to be more this way, right? Yeah. I was almost going to curve that the opposite way around, which would be bad. Maybe more 110 degrees, angled over this much. So you're angled over most of the way, and then you're angled down like this. Then I think I have you curved out more to this side. And then the next one's the one where you go the whole 180 over. We angle it slightly this way. And that's when we go down to about here. So it's not a perfect cobra roll, but the good news is that this side and this side are the same height. So I've gotten it very close. It might actually smooth out to be pretty good. And it's a little wide. It's a little more box shaped, but other than that, like looking at it from this angle, it's not particularly bad. Could be a lot worse. Alright, so let's pull up and go for the loop. So I'll pull up here, actually kind of turn it slightly this way, then move it slightly this way. Alright, so then I'm going to go a little bit past vertical, and we're actually supposed to be turning it this way a little bit. Kind of nail, or not nail, but get the look down a little better. Actually, no, we're supposed to be curving it the other way. I'm stupid. This way. And then you go more here. Okay, so if we want to get this down right, we do have to introduce this little bit of a turn into it, but I'm gonna start to kind of level it out here, and then we enter a turn for the loop. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use the normal piece for the loop, because it's like the only good inversion in the game in terms of the custom built ones, or if I want to custom build my own. Or not the custom build, the pre-built ones, or if I want to just build my own custom loop. Because there is a way to do that. You know what? So I want to curve it out more this way. We're already kind of turned, so let's just kind of start turning this way. I'll actually go slightly upwards so we can turn it a little more up, I suppose, or do a little bit more of a kind of drop motion here. I'll make it a little more unique rather than just a straight up low to the ground turn, where we get a little bit of a hill, and then we'll straighten up and go for the loop. You know what? Let's do a full custom loop. I feel terrible today. I feel like not terrible. I feel like being terrible to myself. That's a harsh turn out of the inversion. Well, let's see how it handles it. Oh, start test. Let's ride. And pay attention to the G-forces. So, it isn't going to be the smoothest yet. I haven't smoothed it or anything. I'll just zoom through the lift hill. I actually want to see what this looks like. Oh, yep, that's good. That's a good look. You get a full view of the park. A little behind the lateral. We'll see. It is banked. I'm not very high on the lateral there, especially if I can smooth it out. There's a bit of a lateral snap with part of that there, but hopefully it should smooth out largely. Alright, so going in. I think I need to bank it a little more. That's what it looked like to me. Need to be a little bit more heavily banked. We're only going up to about 0.8 on, or 0.8 on the lateral horses. And if we briefly check the vertical G's from the previous run, it's not pulling many vertical G's here either. I think it's working pretty solidly. Alright, so now here we want to straighten up, and I need to figure out how to do my whole custom heartlining thing again. Okay, so normally we do something like this, but that's bad. So I think we want to move this way. Right? Yeah. Or maybe this way. Actually, it might be this way. I'll start by moving it this way. We'll straighten it up here. And actually, you know what? I'll move it a little that way in the straightening up portion. And we're going to start pitching it, because we're going to go through the loop. Alright, so fully straighten up now. Should be good. We should be good. I might want to bank this section just a little more. Alright, so how we design a loop is we don't do anything using this. We don't do anything using this. We just go straight for the loop, and then we offset everything. So I'm trying to think about how big of a loop I'm going to want. So this is peaking at about 24. We're probably going to want to go 23, 22 about for the loop. Maybe a little less. And then we'll be able to dive it, or after the loop's done, we'll be able to dive it into here, probably with like some sort of turn or something. Alternatively, we could do... Actually, we go for the loop. We could go for a 0G roll. Yeah, we go high for a 0G roll and then drop it down into here. Oh man, that would be amazing. That might be what I do. Right. So let's just see what this loop winds up being like first. In terms of profile. Alright, so we are at what, 22 there. And let's wait for the game to autosave. So it looks like we'll peak at about 23, I'd imagine. So it might be a little tall. It might be perfect. And then, you know, we're getting... Well, actually, you know what? We need a brake run. We are going to need a brake run at some point. Usually inverts go, you know, maybe 3 to 4 inversions before they get a brake run. I mean, we'd be on our... Actually, wait, no. Thinking back to it, Mon2 goes through 5, right? Yeah, because you get the loop. Mon2, you get the loop, you get the Immelman, you get the 0G roll, and then you get the... What is it? The Batwing. So Mon2 goes through 5 and then hits the brake run. We're at 4 at the moment, and considering a brake run. Because the brake run does need to be high. So I could go brake run and then do the 0G roll later in the layout. That might be good. Because wherever the brake run needs to be, it is going to need to be high. Go out of the loop into a turn. into the brake run. I'm gonna do some low turns in the brake run so we can have the brake run a little higher and then do the brake run as the dive into the, I guess, quarry kind of area. Oh, we're good. Okay, never mind. I was holding on. Or I was waiting for the game to autosave and it was already done. So this peaks at 23 right now. So we want to go most of the way over, about there, I think. Okay, pull it up there, and now we just be a little more careful with it. We're not perfect on the loop, but we're close. I mean, that was entirely free-handed, so, you know, that is a free-handed loop. If we want to fix it a little bit, I think I need to drop this section a little more. Probably should drop this section a little more. I should probably drop this section a little more. And I should probably drop this section a little more. Now, let's first of all make sure the train actually goes through the loop successfully, and then we can drag the track off to the side and fix everything. And by makes it through the loop successfully, I mean more makes it through without pulling excessive Gs. Alright, so we get the Cobra roll. Yeah, not many laterals there. We're pulling about 3. The top of the loop's a little too high, actually. Probably need a little bit smaller of a loop. Although this would be a little bit more of a stalling sort of loop, which could be fun, but this is a B&M invert. They aren't supposed to have that. So, yep. Hello there's shorter loop. Somehow you're still 23 meters tall. Okay, there we go. Now you're 22 meters tall. So we lost a meter from the loop. Alright, now let's start dragging it out to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of extra sections here. Just like that. And then I'm going to grab this. I'm going to start maybe here. And then we're just going to do this. Oh, come on. Which section is being exceeded? It's this guy. I hate when Planet Coaster tracks go extremely vertical, because they always have this issue. Okay, we have stretched this piece to its limit, now we move back to the other piece I put down for this purpose. Actually, yeah, we can't really stretch that piece, because Planet Coaster is annoying. Okay, what's going on here? So when I'm trying to move this over to the side, it's doing stupid stuff. Okay, so that's not working great. I was expecting that to work better. Alright, so I'm gonna have to start moving it more this way then. Good to know. Which is gonna mean that this whole section of track now is gonna have to be moved this way as well. And we'll probably have to be manually adjusted again. You're all gonna have to be moved this way. And you're probably gonna have to move a little bit this way too. And now we have the wonky loop, but hopefully it should work a little better. You know, assuming it can actually smooth out, because these sections of track suck. Yeah, that section of track sucks. Alright, so 2 pieces we want to delete are these 2. But that is a loop. I mean, it is a working loop. Actually, you know what? You could probably be... You could probably... You can't be. You can be moved over. What happens if I rotate you and then move you? You're honestly... These pieces probably just gonna have to be reconstructed at some point, to be honest. It's that bad. Okay, yeah, realign that top bit. That should work. So it's still wonky, but it's fixable. So if we need to go into a brake run, I almost kind of want to turn the coaster around here, then bring it up here for the brakes. And then we can kind of dive it off the cliff a little better. Alright. So I'm going a little high, but I don't want to go very high. I still want to keep this portion low to the ground. This is going to be one interesting invert. Okay. We get in at negative 27. I'm gonna start dropping that a little bit here now. Okay, so I'll probably put the brake run maybe 16 meters high, I'm thinking, because we were at 23 here with some speed for our elements, maybe like 16, 18 meters high. So we're still conserving most of our momentum, but we would be able to reliably get up to the brake run. And yeah, dive it, hopefully. Maybe even dive it like between this track here. Just kind of in here, low to the ground through here. Pop up for a 0G. Maybe pop up for a 0G roll and either extend the terrain out a little bit or... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a good idea. Extend the terrain out here and 0G roll over it. Keep that whole thing to the lower to the ground. And that would be our 5th inversion. We could probably go for 7 with a corkscrew and a flat spin still somewhere. Or 2 corkscrews. If we wanted to go for 8, we could see about an additional loop, but I'm not completely sure we have the height and speed for that to be reasonable. I mean, our station's at, what, 2 meters high? I mean, right now we're higher than the station is, so... Alright, so here I want to level it out, and swap over to the other side. So we got to do that the weird little thing I have to do. So I want to keep it turning this way at the start, and then want to start turning it more this way as we swap it over. But only a little bit. Alright, now we continue on, and now we pull up. Okay, my worry is we might be a little close to Johnny Joe's. Out of the forest on the edge of Johnny Joe's here. Actually, this might be a good place for like a Junior Immelman into the brakes. Or into the mid-course brakes. That would be so interesting. That might actually be an option. It's certainly a unique idea. Alright, so keep it tighter. Right. tighten the turn. Actually, we're going a little high now. We are going a little too high. So I probably need to bring this section down and make it a little tighter. Right, so actually, okay, bring this down. Continue to bring this down. We are going a little high where we want, or for what height we want the brakes to actually be at. So then over here, and now we straighten it up. We're at 16 meters, which is right about good. So we probably want it to go slightly higher, slightly over this way. And then turn it slightly this way. But when we turn it slightly this way, though, I do have to level it out. Actually, probably push it like maybe 50 degrees, or not 50, negative 0.5 degrees down. And that's when we go for the good old block section. Make sure it has a catwalk. We're saving. Hands off. In terms of how long I make it, I will probably make it 20 meters, maybe 20. See if I can make it 22 meters with an 18 and a 4. So we still get most of our momentum, and hopefully, realistically, the coaster actually has enough momentum to get to this point. And then we can dive it down below. Maybe we do a little turn. Well, we could do... One thing we could do is we could start it out again with a helix and then go down here. So you could kind of do a turn which leads into this turn, and then it's just low to the ground madness from that point onwards. That would be fun. Okay, we're good. So if we go 20 meters long, how long is the train itself? Because we need to be ultimately slightly longer than the train. Okay, we'll go 18 meters and 4 meters, so we get a 22 meter long section. Actually, I'll go 18 meters and 6 meters, so it's slightly longer. And now we do have to do the rotation around here. No catwalk. 5 meter track sections. And do a kind of a helix down. Eventually dropping below the track. Okay, come on. I want my camera to be on the track piece. Thank you very much. So if we need to start the turn early, I think. Kind of manage the if we start the turn early, it kind of manages the shift to the side we expect to get with that. Only turn it a little bit. And hopefully it'll be possible to run this without these brakes actually being on. But you know, I need to build it so that it works with the brakes on. So if a train stops here, it needs to complete the course. But, you know, if a train doesn't need to stop there, then it can complete the course faster and be a lot more fun. Although B&Ms typically have their brakes on more often than not, at least to a limited extent. But it's still like, you know what? No, let's build a really fun B&M. Let's build B&M if B&M was perfect. Alright, so we're doing the downward spiral. I'm gonna have to level it out here. Right. And now we start dropping. Now we get to the fun bit. This is gonna be a weird midsection to this ride. And if need be, I can also mess with the terrain here a bit, too. Alright. So, yep, let's just kind of pass it through this section, pass it under. Actually, you know what? I haven't tested it in a while. Let's just make sure that the G's are good. And everything up into the brake run. Already, this is looking to be a longer invert. Oh yeah, it was going to be a longer invert from the beginning, but, you know, got a lot of weird sections, and if we're going for 6 or 7 inversions, still with this ride, no, it's still going to be long, or that is going to make it pretty much longer. But I mean, we have a cool height to, or change in terrain height to work with. So it's only going up to about 3.4 on the loop. How many laterals is that? Not many. Probably does need to be banked a little better. We do get some noticeable laterals here though. So I'm gonna bring this section up a bit and bank it even more. All that being said, this here would very much be a problem. So let's start by smoothing it and then stretching it out. Let's just stretch it out. So we get more of a turn. So we have a little bit more room to work with here. So how many verticals did we pull on the previous run? We're pulling too many. How many laterals were we pulling on the previous run? Yeah, that was bad. Down here was fine. So I've gotten this section pretty good in terms of where I want it with the lateral G's. So I will have to play around with the terrain a bit more. But we can very much just bring it under here, bring it underneath this track. Bringing it underneath this track is a little concerning because then we do have to place the supports in a specific way a little better. And I might keep some of the regular supports for like the low to the ground sections, because I don't think that the custom supports matter as much for that. It's gonna be an interesting ride in the end. It'll be fun, at the very least. Even if it's not perfectly accurate, it will be fun. Okay, so they are rotating and the legs are clipping through the catwalk. Nothing I can do about that. Well, I mean, there is stuff I can do about that, and that's build a custom catwalk. I might have to do that, actually, thinking about it now. Oh, yep, there we go. We've built all of our speed back up. That's excellent. I'm going to delete this section, move it actually lower. And then, yeah, we're just going straight underneath where the ride starts. You know, this initial little turn here. I think I want to do this slight adjustment. Then, now we're straightened out. Although, you know what? Keep us going down a little bit, and then we will kind of slowly pull up out of this. You know, I'm thinking about it. We want to do the 0G roll kind of over some terrain. So let's actually twist it slightly, because we need it more over here. So we're over here right now. We need to shift it over. And I need to do like a slight S-bend sort of movement. Okay. I'm gonna pause just so I can work with this a little better. So yeah, now we're at -6 meters. Actually, no, start doing the rotation. Start doing a little movement out to this side. And now we go, you know, down and over this way. And now we start pulling up. So now we're going to pull up into our 0G roll here. Alright, straighten it out. Actually, if we're going to straighten it out, I have to do a little bit of a turn because I'm not using the banking offset tool. So I have to do that little bit of a turn to compensate. Actually, it might be, is it this way? No, it's this way I want to move. I think, yeah. Yeah, it's that way I want to move. Alright, so what angle do we want to go up at? Probably want to go up at like that angle, maybe a little higher. Alright, now we stop with that because we're at 0. And now it is time to Google what a B&M 0G roll looks like, or B&M inverted 0G roll looks like. Invert 0G roll, because these have a very specific shape to them, and I need to get like a first gen down rather than something later. Because there's a little bit of heart lining, and it levels out at a very specific level. So I've got one for, I think, Talon pulled up here. Alright, so which way do I want to roll it? I'll probably roll it this way, because that's what's in the photo, but... yeah. Alright, so I'll start with... okay, let's see. So we get where it's going straight, and then it rotates rotates and starts to pitch down, and then it rotates even more as it pitches down. Now I see where their track pieces are built, or not track pieces, where the track segments end for them, but they're probably going to end in different locations for me. So we're at 1 meter, yeah, brake section's over here. So I do want to go into this now. So I'm going to start pitching down. I'm going to start rotating this way. Alright, so now we do our most of our pitch over. Actually, what's our altitude at here? We're at 7 meters. So yeah, I'm doing this at about the right height. It'll probably be a little more intense. I'm going to not quite roll that all the way over. I'm going to keep it moving out a little bit in this direction. So now we're going to move it back in this direction. So right here is where we are going over a little bit. Actually, if we end on going over though, I could go no, I have to go over and pull up a little bit. So yeah, I'm fine. So we start leveling out there. Now this is where I go pull up, but only like a 4. Can't quite do this turn perfectly, which means that our 0G roll, how it's being designed, is going to be a little weirdly off-center. Are we good? Nope, we're not good. I could actually tell when the game was not lagging due to the autosave and when it was lagging due to the autosave by the flickering of the lights back here over in Enchanted Forest area. Oh, come on. Nope, place that back down. Alright, so we'll go level. I could go level and then do the other section, but it's not going to be shaped right. If we go all the way over, that's the maximum we can go. We don't want to go all the way over then. I'm gonna go a little bit more than I need to. You need to straighten. Actually, you do need to go this way. Actually, you could straighten out, or you could go this way. Alright, so you are gonna go up again. Then you're gonna start curving more this way. So you're actually gonna go a little bit more than sideways here. And then you are gonna be... Oh god, oh god. I think, yeah, you're gonna be more where where it drops. It might actually be a little too tight. I'm looking at the photo at a weird angle. So, given that I was looking at it at a weird angle, I think it is too tight. So I am gonna just leave you at, 180 degrees here, which will make it easy to replicate on both sides. Alright, so now we go very much into a high slope. We go back up to about, I think it was like 4-something degrees, or 4-point-something degrees, and returning this way. Higher angle than that. Alright, now we go over and we go down. I'm definitely going to have to edit the train here. Actually, you know what? Maybe not quite that much down. Maybe more here and maybe not quite that much over. Okay, now we are pulling this maneuver. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's maybe acceptable. Alright, so level it out here. Continue going down. And we need a slight turn this way, I think. It vaguely resembles a B&M 0G roll. Slightly downward sloped. Wait, aren't they in real... No, in real life they're slightly upward sloped. It's the reverse of this. But yeah, no, we can bring the terrain out over here underneath this and then keep this as a bit of a terrain element, which I think will be a good idea. So now... Actually, I think we're a little bit too heavily sloped downwards here, so I am gonna de-slope you a little bit. So now we can pull out of it. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do. So I do need to get probably a corkscrew in here next. 0G roll into a corkscrew is such an interesting combination, or unique combination for a B&M invert, especially a first generation. Okay. So if I do a corkscrew, I could do the corkscrew this way, pull up over here, go over the lake. Ooh, what if we did a, what are they called? So it's with an F. Flat spin. What if we did a flat spin over the lake? Over the lake. Yeah, flat spin over the lake. Helix to end out the ride. Although, we are kind of ignoring this area here. I probably want to make some proper use of over here, so... Maybe we'll do a turn from this area into here, and then be able to get like a flat spin or something in here, rather than do a flat spin over the lake like this. Then actually make good use of this whole area right here. But I think the correct move is to go into a corkscrew here, do a turn here, over the lake. Yeah, over the lake, do a turn, more stuff in this area, and then turn into, or kind of do this sort of maneuver into here. And I think that'll be the strongest way to end out this coaster. This is going to be a long invert. Alright. It is time to level out. Are we curving it all? No, we're not. Good. I actually think I'm leveling out a little too early. So don't level out first. Now we level out, so we're properly low to the ground. Because that's where inverts work best. Although I will have to go probably underneath the track. But that could be cool, having a trench underneath it. Right. Now it's time for the corkscrew. Alright, corkscrews are difficult to make. I'm trying to think, B&M corkscrew, inverted corkscrew is interesting. So I probably want to start curving it a little bit, like this. And I'm not keeping track of the actual numbers themselves like I should be for this to make it perfect. You know, largely just eyeing this. Actually, if we go through a trench here, though, it probably could go through a trench, bring it back out for the curve over the lake. This corkscrew might actually wind up being partially over the lake, too. Alright, you know what, we're a little bit too far over. Do this. Leveling out a little too soon. Alright, now it's time for the top of the corkscrew. Alright. Bring it down by about as much as we're going up by. So we're going to switch it all the way over to the other side. And leave it about 0. And that actually might provide a little bit of snap to the corkscrew too, if we've done it right. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to set 10 a.m. so that we have less lighting to deal with. And I think that's going to improve the frame rate. Alright, tighten it up. Start straightening it out. Start pitching it up a little bit. Actually, you know what? Start doing this turn. Turning it more. Careful. We can do this. If we are having some issues with the terrain, we can always just modify the terrain. And make sure that nobody's feet clip anywhere. Alright, let's go for a bit of a turn. You know, just a high bank turn here. This is gonna be one interesting roller coaster. I have no idea what this thing would feel like in real life. It would be okay, actually I do have an idea, because a lot of these elements I have experienced before, but it's such a weird layout for one. I'm hoping it works, especially the second half. Okay, I think I've curved this a little too quickly, looking at it now. Because I want to curve it more along here and drop it below the track here. So I probably was pulling up a little too sharply even over here. So let's try to kind of limit that a little more. Maybe keep it a little lower to the ground. No. Possible we want their feet to almost be scraping against this wall. Or at least, no, make it feel like they are. Okay, yeah, now we tighten the turn a little bit. Loosen it up there, tighten it up again. Well, lose the banking, then tighten. Or, yeah, lose the banking a little bit, not all the banking, and bring it down a little bit. And then this hopefully should allow me to pass underneath here. Alright, let's go. Let's pass it through a bit of a trench. I mean, I'll build the trench later, but still, I do feel like trenches are amazing on inverts. You know, Montu especially. Man, I need to go back to Florida to ride that coaster. It's so good. Alright, so now our track is effectively underground, which is right about where I want it to be for the trench. And I'm going to curve it slightly this way to compensate for the fact that I'm not using banking offsets, that I'm effectively faking the heartline. You know what? It's bad that I cannot see the coaster track, so hello there, terrain editing tools. Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna build this temporary trench. I probably need a more permanent looking one. Oh, so, okay, so the change in height of this coaster is actually, what, 36 meters to, it looks like probably about -10 in the end. Give it a moment. It is autosaving, so hands off. So, yeah, we're talking about a 46 meter height change. That is about 3/4 of a hypercoaster. So that's probably close to 150 feet, I'd imagine. Somewhere in that range, 140 to 160. Which is, yeah, that's a reasonable height for an invert. It's not Alpengeist, but that's right around Montu's height. Although Montu also has trenches, so technically Montu's not reaching its full height. Or no, it is reaching its full height. It's just going a little lower. Its actual height's not fully explaining the true height of the ride. Okay, come on. Tiny coaster. Get your autosave done with. Come on, finish the autosave, please. This autosave's taking a while. Okay, we're good. Alright, now we can finally go up into the maneuver I wanted. Alright, so straighten it out. Actually, you know what? Keep a little bit of that banking still. A little bit of the turn. I'll actually leave it just slightly going downwards. So rather than a straight piece of track, we get a slightly curved, slightly banked piece of track here. So now we can really pull out of it, I think, because now we're actually underneath the other track. So I'll be able to at least see all the track here. Alright, so let's go over the water. if we can. And if we can't, we can actually try to extend the water out a bit. I mean, there's a limit to that. I don't want to extend it to underneath the brake run, but it might be a good idea to extend the water out a little bit this way, just so that we do kind of get that, you know, flying over a lake sort of feeling. Alright, there we go. Now we are properly going to be over the lake. So I want to shift it back over. A little bit this way. Because let's be real, passing over a lake in an invert is just going to be amazing. Especially with the view you're getting of this coaster over here. Okay. That needs to be banked more. That's not banked enough for how much it's turning. I'm gonna turn it less, actually. You know, I still haven't tested that corkscrew yet with the actual coaster itself. Alright, so over here I'm gonna want to do a flat spin, but let's actually test the coaster first and just see what the live data is telling us the G-forces are, because I do need to see this. This data is very good to have. Alright, so we know what it is through this portion of the ride. Get our spiral down. A little bit of an S turn there, and then actually go into a pretty slow roll. That corkscrew actually looks really good. How many laterals are we pulling here? Not many. Not too many laterals there either. We're pretty good on the laterals so far. Let's just check. Let's just check the laterals. So that's what matters. Previous run. So we're getting a little bit of laterals here. That's to be expected. We're getting a little bit on the pull out to the corkscrew, but not too many. Might actually be fixable. Verticals. Verticals looks pretty good through this section. A little bit low here, because we're not going through that 0G roll very quickly at all. And I might try to straighten up that a little more and straighten up this a little more. Got a nice snap to the top of the corkscrew though, and I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. I really hope it stays when we smooth the ride. Alright, so we continue the turn. And now I want to go into the flat spin. So the flat spin, it's kind of an in-between of the corkscrew and the 0G roll, and you're also not really going up much for it. So let's go into a flat spin, which we can then pass under while we go for the brakes. So let's probably go up a little bit, like this. And then this will be our final inversion. Actually, if we can exit this into a trench, that would be really cool. Just kind of keep this ride going fast all the time until you're at the final brake run. This is the centerpiece. How much roll do we need until we're at about... I think that's about the same level. Actually, that's a little too much, I think. Let's go maybe more for here. Alright, cool. And now we can start pulling up out of it this way. Actually, we do need the building over this, or the maintenance shed over this way. I bet we have enough room for that. We do have enough room, even with this. We can just get really close to the maintenance shed and use it. You know, use the maintenance shed as additional foot chopper for this ride, which would be fun. Now the exit on this is going to be a little weird, and that's intentional because I kind of want to bring it. I kind of do want to bring it down lower into the ground. Just kind of make this an awesome experience. So what are our challenges? Some people visit a restaurant for 1 month in a row. I mean, a restaurant's not even open right now. We need to move the restaurant. We need a better location for it. Okay, so this is kind of a flat spin, but it's a weird flat spin. This is because we're going so low immediately after it. Just because going low is fun. Okay, we're gonna pass close by the station here, kind of closer than I intended to. So I am gonna tighten this up a little bit. Part of the queue line might actually wind up being above, or like directly above the coaster. And with it passing so close to the station, we are gonna have to build this part of the coaster into the station somehow. And that's going to get interesting. I do not want to do that today, but that is going to get interesting. It is something I'm going to want to have some ideas for and let them kind of stew in my head a little bit. Okay, there we go. So now we kind of start bringing it down a little bit and start straightening it up a little bit. I'm going to pass underneath our flat spin. And then we're going to enter in a turn into the brake run. Actually, I need to check the lateral G's from our previous run over here. Because I just noticed that that could be really bad. And it is really bad. So, yep, that's what we need to do. That section just needs to suddenly pull a lot more steeply. So that we don't get as many laterals there. And then we get this moment where we just pass kind of close over the water. Alright, now we pull up out of here and go into the brake run. Alright, so... actually, drop us, like, lower, so we are kind of going through a trench here. Just so that we get a little bit more speed going up before the end. So that, you know, we're ending on a high note. I want to go this way. I want to slightly angle it that way to counter out the rotation. Then I want to angle this one this way. I'll go a little bit above 0, and we will start rotating a little bit. Alright, time for the final turn. Okay. Continue up. And we are going to be good. Do this carefully. Do lean into the turn a little bit more. I'm gonna actually de-angle it a little bit because we are going higher now. Alright, so I do have to turn it a little more steeply now. Alright, so we are at 0 meters, so we still have to go up a little bit. I'm gonna start de-angling it here. I'm gonna start kind of leveling it out a little more. Because we do need a little bit shallower of a turn for just a couple of track pieces. And then we need to sharpen up the turn again. Alright. Sharpen up the turn. One more piece. And adjust this all so it doesn't have as many weird quirks to it. And can be actually slightly heart-lined. You know, I might want to move this out a little more. And then just do something kind of along here. I mean, I will have to make sure that this is smooth at the end, and it's going to be a little awkward. I might move this back a little bit. Ultimately, you back. No, you should probably still be out there. All right, there we go. Coaster finished. Coaster layout finished, I should say. Let's save. First of all, I'll give it a ride. I'll give it a ride just to see what it's like, and then honestly, I know I've only been live for 2 hours, but I do not feel like smoothing or custom supporting this today, and I'm planning a second live stream today anyway, so yeah. But we will ride it first. I will promise you that. We will, at the very least, ride this in its initial form. It's interesting. It is a weird coaster. I'm gonna aim for a year 32 opening. It is possible to get it. It's maybe possible to get a year 31 opening. But you know, that's gonna require getting all the scenery in place. All right. Are we still saving? Yeah, we're still saving. That's why it's chugging. I'm just gonna keep building out this park and building out this park until it's done. We don't have enough coasters yet. We don't have enough of a park yet. We're already struggling, but we don't have enough of a park yet. Or the computer's already struggling, I should say. So did it do everything I wanted it to do? No. Do I still think I got a good ride out of it? Yeah, probably. Alright, let's test it. And then we can see what the G-forces are like and see where it does stuff we want and where it doesn't do stuff we want. Obviously, though, it is going to be a little rough right now, and I would assume that the laterals in some of these sections are going to be a little higher than they actually should be. Although sometimes the smoothing does increase the laterals on relatively lower lateral sections. So the worst sections in terms of roll and lateral issues are going to be fixed. Some of the better sections in terms of roll and lateral issues, though, might get worse. That's gonna be nice, though, getting a good look at Johnny Joe's as well. I know we do hit some leaves. All the scenery stuff will be fixed by the final version, though. Like, yeah, that whole area there will be fixed. And obviously, you know, we're hitting a lot of stuff here. Yes, needs to be smoothed. Actually, that second part of the Cobra roll didn't feel all that bad. This loop will need to be smoothed. But the loops are problematic in this game, custom-built ones, for whatever reason. I would say for whatever reason, but I know exactly where the problem on them lies. Alright, so there we go. We get the slowdown from the block brakes. That's our mid-course. So this is the slowest speed that the coaster can be running during the second portion of the ride. Some of those... Okay, that section I'm going to have to mess with. I think I overbanked it a little too much. If that corkscrew gets fixed, it'll be really fun. That could be a fun section once it gets smooth. There's the flat spin. Go low for our final turn. We go low once again. Then we go through the final... No! How do you not make it? Your friction's 0.9. That's a little stupid. So how much track is it going through? From here, is it going through all of this? Going down here. That does not feel right. It does not feel right. I mean, this is the height change we're talking about. I mean, we're getting a lot of track out of that, though. I want to get this section in here so badly. Alright, here's what we're going to try. I think the first step is to attempt to raise this. We still have some momentum going into it. So I'll bring it up to like 19 meters. We'll get an additional 3 meters on it. This should actually help with some lateral issues on this turn in particular too. This is going to get a little more awkward there, though. So let's just start bringing it up a little bit. But it could also get a little faster too. So let's try this. It also did slow down here a little too quickly, so I'm going to turn down the deceleration rate. Alright, now we can see if the coaster will actually run and complete a full circuit. Got to the final turn and just it failed. Alright, get us up to the top of the lift. Now I do like this portion. I do like this though. You know, going over the top of the lift and just getting to see the park in its full glory. Getting on that turn, getting to see that in its full glory. Then Johnny Joe's over there. And then you're going into the real meat of the ride. That turn just somehow works. Some of the later ones do need an additional modification, but let's get this done. Okay, so now we're losing most of our momentum going into this. That is actually problematic. This is too high now. I'm gonna have to drop it down by a meter or two. Because that's a little too close to stalling for my liking. I don't know, it might just have enough momentum that it's okay. But let's see how much momentum we have going into the final brake run here. Alright, Alright, we are officially reducing the friction multiplier down to 0.8. Try again. Inverts in challenge parks for me have been really difficult because I try to build these amazing layouts with them and then they just slow down so quickly. I think the friction on the invert is higher than the normal steel coaster, to be honest. Like for normal steel coaster, like 0.9 seems to be about right, but I'm beginning to think that the inverts are slowing down too quickly, even with 0.9. So I think this will just be a better paced ride and feel a bit more realistic. I'm content with that momentum going into the brake run. Alright, so now we drop low. Like that. A bit of a weird, funky thing going on there, and of course, you know, these are going to be a little rough at the moment. But, you know, they should get the rough shape of the ride down when I eventually do the smoothing passes. That will be an intense moment. Get our little additional last roll there. Keep forgetting what it's called, despite having said it multiple times during the live stream. How much momentum does it take to get into this brake run? I've actually stalled it. I've actually managed to stall the train. It's not moving. It's not moving anywhere. It lost all of its momentum at this precise moment. Good job, me. So, the obvious solution now is to lower the entirety of this portion of the ride. Can I do that? I can change the height here. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this portion of the lift hill and I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete that much of the lift hill, see how long of a piece it is. It is 8 meters long. I'm going to stretch it out to 9 meters. With an 8 meter long piece here, go back up to 0, put in a friction brake, make sure we have the catwalk there. Turn off the catwalk there, do this, and then take all of this. And we're saving. Hold on. Hands off as it saves. I'm going to lower it just a little bit. Because I think if we lower it just a little bit, we can get away with this. I mean, literally, lowering it any more will just allow the train to slide into the brakes. But I think we actually do need to get a bit of additional lowering going on. It might be the case where I actually have to increase the lift hill height by another... Well, not increase the lift hill height, but increase the bottom of the lift hill move it down by another. I would say another meter. I mean, technically, we're not moving it downwards by a meter, but we're extending the lift hill itself by a meter, but at the bottom rather than at the top. So that's technically what I mean. Give it a moment to autosave. And then hopefully now we'll be able to get this ride working. I'm actually trying to think about where the queue line's gonna go. Because we have the queue, or we'd have to build it on this side. We can probably build it down around this way, and then the exit goes this way too. And then we probably go, you know, underneath the lift hill over here. We could do a bunch of the switchback things over here. Are we good? Okay, we're good actually. Alright, so guess it's time to drop all of this down by probably a meter if I can help it. Or more. Okay, and now there's no way this is stalling. Now we're good. So the end of the ride might be a little boring, but hopefully that'll be fine. I just want to double check. Lift hill, yeah, lift hill is in fact lower than the actual track itself. So as long as we get a good pitch up here in the lift hill, we should be good. And if we are still having issues, I will just increase the exit speed. Let's go. Do you work now? Alright, so lift hill is lengthened. Let's see if this coaster will actually slide into the brake run. Should probably put on live data just to check what the G-forces are. Alright, so we get up to here fine. We slowed down on the brake section. This is kind of unbelievable to me how much speed we lose though. Because we were going from 16 meters to 3 meters and stalling at 3 meters. Despite having momentum at 16 meters over, you know, this much of the ride. Okay, we're still moving at 15 miles an hour through that section. Still got about 11, 10 miles per hour into the brake run at the end. Alright, there we go. Ride finally successful. Is the friction actually higher in rolls? I don't know. Oh my god, our excitement rating's so crap. We have 7 inversions, and you can only give us a 4 on the excitement rating. I mean, to be fair, our track length is absurdly long for an invert. You know, we'll have to get stuff sorted out. I mean, our fear rating is probably a little low. Our nausea rating is about on point. That's what happens when you build realistic coasters. Honestly, I doubt we're going to get that 6.0 excitement coaster done until, probably until we get like a hyper or something. in the park. I was really expecting this one to do it, but apparently just not. So what was our lateral again? 1.26. That's high, but we can fix that. Your airtime is very low. Of course it's very low. It's an invert. You don't put high airtime on an invert. That's a bad idea. We only have one airtime count. Apparently we are actually pulling negative 1.39 at one point. I wouldn't be too surprised if that's here. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be pulling that airtime. Could be over here, too. But okay, so we know it makes it to the end. Let's actually try to improve the excitement rating. Hello, brake target speed. Okay, what's the speed going into the brakes? We don't know. Great. Alright, brake target speed. I'm gonna bring it up to maybe 20 miles an hour. So now we're gonna see what the coaster does when we have it going much faster. Excitement calculations work, they'll hardly excite anything, but airtime can really pump it up. Ah, okay. I mean, to be fair, I did abuse that to create like an 11 excitement coaster by just having something which spammed airtime so much. Yeah, maybe something like a hyper would work really well in the future. That's a little lame though, that something like an invert has low excitement. Something with a focus on inversions and positives and such. Four positive G's is exciting, Planet Coaster, and you should realize that. Alright, so let's just get the overall speed which it's going through here. Man, it's gonna go through that corkscrew so quickly. Roller coaster with 50-meter track length and 9.13 excitement, probably because it's like... Does it just like literally turn the riders upside down or something? Is that all it does? Let's see. Did that improve it all? What did that do? It did improve it. I think that's better. We know it works with it works normally. So the other thing we need to do is switch you to a block section mode and apply 2 trains. Yes, underneath loop, or yes, loops underneath the station. Oh, that would kill people. That would in real life kill people, but it's the only way to build high excitement coasters in this game, which is kind of stupid. They need a better system. Let's be real. I actually want to look. If we look at our testing overview and look at our excitement heat map. I mean, okay, it's getting some on this drop. Not getting a lot up here. Oh yeah, obviously, because we're going kind of slow up here, but we're getting to look at everything. That's probably why. Is 7G acceptable for Planet Coaster? Of course it is. So we're getting some here. We do need to move this tree, but yeah. This area isn't bad. The Immelman isn't bad. It does go a little slower at the top of the Immelmans. That makes sense. Then it drops down here. This should be more exciting. This is properly exciting. This should be more exciting. What? This is way low for what it should be. That's a Cobra roll. Why is that low? I don't know. It goes down here. Oops, okay. A little low for this section. Hits the brakes. It's oh. It gets a lot here due to the twistiness of it. The sharpness of some of the elements, but then yeah, loses it on the brake run, spirals down. Actually, I'm glad it gained some right here. That was kind of where I was hoping to get some. There's some mess around with game mechanics. Yep, I like to see where games break. Oh yeah, it's Planet Coaster. Planet Coaster breaks so easily. It's pulling a lot of excitement through here. through this whole maneuver and the whole corkscrew. Followed up by this turn. All these low to the ground elements, and it kind of loses steam. It loses a lot of steam here on this final turn. Right. Let's just let it go through a cycle so we can actually see the ratings. And then after this, final section is boring indeed. Yeah, that's part of the issue, is that it's going so slowly here. That causes some problems. Good news is it does not stop on this block section, because this train's gone through by that point in time. So this is like, even if we're having instant dispatches, looks like it is perfectly timed. So I'm gonna save the game here. I've gone on for, 2 hours, 40 minutes. I don't want to go on much longer. And then next time we're smoothing this thing. Just flat out next time we're smoothing it. Either next time we're smoothing it or I'm smoothing it offline and then actually doing all the theming stuff later. Because smoothing it it's gonna take a while. Smoothing it itself will probably take an hour or two, and I don't have that energy right now. I almost need a nap. That would be a fun element here, though. That was one very quick corkscrew. That might be a little too quick. But if we make it any shorter, we're gonna have issues. So, even if that's a really quick corkscrew, it will be a fun one. No shortening. It's difficult to do. I don't know really how you do it. Because you need this to level out. The only way to shorten it would be to delete this final inversion, delete this whole figure 8 part right here, and just bring this into here. Because otherwise you're not going to be, otherwise that's not doable. The only way I could think about doing it would be, I might lower, you know what, I'm gonna do something. I will lower this turn. This turn's not gonna go so high. That's really the only thing I can think of doing. Is this. So if we do that and then smooth it a bit, that should be a little better. So let's just let it test. Let's let it test run all the way through. That actually should decrease the track length by probably a meter or two, I'd imagine. Might actually allow me to expand the size of the corkscrew a little bit, or the height of the corkscrew a little bit. A little impact in total. That'll be something. It's definitely better. Yeah, we got it up a little bit more. Probably, I do want... The corkscrew is just going through a little too quickly. I do want to raise the corkscrew if I can. Let's try it. So now the corkscrew is it's gonna go through the corkscrew a little bit more slowly. Just make sure it makes it through the end. It shouldn't have that much of an impact. Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. That's a better speed to go through the corkscrew at. Honestly, at this point, that's not going to have much impact with it making it to the end, so I'm not concerned. You know, even if it does stop on the block section. And in terms of the max verticals, it really hasn't changed. If we look at the vertical Gs, I think it's pulling them either here or somewhere in this area. I would ditch the 8 and build a flat right in there instead. No, I'm keeping the 8. There's not... Well, here's the thing, is that this portion is the park instead. This is all going to be building right here. So, this is a queue line. You know, queue line going in here, pathway going through here. There's no way to get a ride in here. If this isn't a figure 8, it's theming. That's basically the two options. There's no reasonable way to really get a flat ride in here, nor any good reason to do so. It's just too far away from the main section of the park. You know, the entrance and exit are really only going to be in this area right here. So already you're having to build an extra line out over this way, probably having to build it through here and underneath the coaster, and losing that final inversion. I'm so surprised the ride slows down so much at this point, though. Given how fast it goes through this section. I mean, this is 132 meters, or not 100. What was I saying? 134.2 seconds long. I'm curious about how long actual long inverts are, like Montu is. This is what? It goes up to 36 meters and down to, I think, -9 at the lowest. So it is about a 45 meter height change. I want to look up Montu. RCDB. Just for comparison. Alright, so Montu is... Let's see. I need feet to meters. Let's see, Montu is 150 tall, so that's 45 meters tall. Montu. 3983. When you compare length to height, it is pretty stretched. Yeah, I would say that. Like, compared to Montu, Montu is, 1,214 meters long, and this is, you know, an additional, what, 250 meters on that, in terms of length? Although, you know, as much as I say that, some of that length is added here on this slow section at the start. So really, yeah, it is acceptable for it to be longer than Montu. Overall change in height is probably slightly shorter. I'm almost wondering, part of me is wondering if it's smarter to get a longer lift hill here. I think it'll be fine. I mean, we got some slower sections, like this helix here would be a bit slower too. Just due to how the ride's built, how the ride's laid out. So it was a little trickier to work into the area, what I wanted to. I think it works. I think it works for now. It'll still be fine. How much prestige would it have? 824. Our Q scenery rating is 0, so obviously we can extend that even more. It'll look good at the very least, and it'll ride well. Final scenic curve has extra value. The first scenic curve has extra value and some part of the final section hasn't really. Yeah, well, you're arguing that, but we have this nice inversion here. You have this nice inversion. This is all low to the ground. The only difficult part is this final turn. This final turn is what's allowing for all of this here to happen. Well, the first scenic turn, you know, you really get a good view of the park. I love this. This is actually really cool to just go through and see everything before you dive down. Unfortunately, you're not really going to get to be under the Immelman like I was hoping. Like, I really wanted this shot or something. But, you know, I just could not align it with the pathway, with the space I had. But even for the space I had, this is a pretty strong invert. And will make a good... It will still make a good addition to the park. And what is the longest inverted coaster? It's probably Alpengeist. So let's see. So Alpengeist is... Wait, no, Wait, no, is it Banshee? It might be Banshee. 4124. Okay, so this has about 200 meters on the longest real-life inverted coaster. But again, that's because it does some weird stuff, so it is kind of justified. Maybe I need to lift it like a slightly steeper 32 degrees, just get a little bit more height, and then get a little bit more height here. Then, I don't know, we have a working layout already, so yeah. I don't want to keep modifying this and keep really stretching it out. Inverts in real life, or BNMs in real life usually do have extra momentum anyways coming into the end. So I'm not too concerned. At worst, there's some valley risk in this area. And then maybe the next coaster we'll try to nail the excitement rating a little better. Next coaster, there's some thoughts about a hyper. Would be too late for an arrow. We could do a B&M stand-up and then custom supports for the whole track. Yes. Yes, this whole track's getting custom supported. Either the whole track or the majority of the track. Some of the lower sections I might choose to not custom support and just have the standard supports instead. But the vast majority of the track will be custom supported. You know, for the next coaster, we do have some options. Sounds like the biggest piece of work. Yeah, that could very well easily be the biggest piece of work. That could take, you know, 2 live streams or something. I know I have successfully done, like, or have successfully custom supported a coaster in, like, 2 days. So, that is doable. I'm not in the mood for it right now. I was in the mood for building the coaster layout, but it is possible to do in a semi-reasonable amount of time with a lot of copy and pasting. But, you know, the coasters I custom supported were an Intamin Hyper and a Mac launched with the 2. I did. That being said, though, the Intamin Hyper is about as long as this coaster, and the Mac launched was longer, so... the Intamin Hyper was also a lot more compact than this coaster. Oh god. I don't know how I got that thing to fit in that space. It should not have. It really should not have done any of that. Are we done saving? Okay, we are. Cool. So yep, next few streams of Planet Coaster. I don't know when they'll occur. I might want to take a little bit of break from it, but next few streams of Planet Coaster, they will be, you know, smoothing this ride, custom supporting this ride, and theming this ride, and getting this ride ready for opening probably either year 31 or year 32. I'm trying to consider if I want to move another flat ride into the area or not. It's probably smart to put a flat ride somewhere in here, but if I do that, I'm going to have to check where the supports are. So that could be a big problem. And as much as I do want to move like these 3 flat rides around somewhere, it might wind up being the case where they wind up getting moved back here. And after this is done, I don't know what the next coaster in the park will be. If we want to go with like a hyper of some sort, or if we want to hold off on the hyper a little bit and go into more what the early 2000s would bring us, which is, what were they building in the early 2000s? You get some GCIs, then it'd be GCI, Gravity Group, not like the inverting Gravity Groups, but more like Hades or the Voyage. It's too late for CCI. Given the rough era of this park right now, I think it's technically within the timeline that an Arrow could be the next coaster. I could go with like an Arrow Looper, like a Tennessee Tornado style one, but I'm at the very end of when we can purchase an Arrow Looper. Other options are... Well, let me start saving the park here. Other options would be... Thinking about this, you would start to get B&M Hypers on the scene in about, 99 or 2000, I think, is when Apollo Chariot and Raging Bull come along. Yeah, the B&M Floorless would be here. Intamin Hyper is doable, because you get the Superman, the rides around this time. Intamin Giga, technically, 2000 for the Giga. Gaia Vanola Hyper is doable. Who wants a Gaia Vanola Hyper? They suck. That's kind of the era of coaster we're moving into, because yeah, we're going away from the Arrow. I'm trying to think just what is all in the game for thrill coasters built during this time. The other option could be, just had something on my mind, and I forgot it. Oh yeah, like a Vekoma, some sort, like a Vekoma Boomerang. Yeah, Vekoma Boomerangs would have been built around here. We already have an Invert, so we're not getting an SLC. B&M Flyer. We could build a B&M Flyer. That's another good option. Well, anyway, Fallen Star, hello there. I'm ending, so... Doesn't exactly help. Anyway, yeah, I've just saved the park. I was thinking about future plans for the park. I don't know what I'm going to build next. I had some ideas. Yep, I am done for the day. I am going to go on a raid to someone who showed up earlier. He's currently playing Subnautica. And, yeah, let me go do the outro, because I need to do that, especially for the people on YouTube. But for all of you guys on Twitch, links to my Discord, YouTube, and Twitter are down below. All these episodes get uploaded to YouTube after the fact. Discord's where you can get notifications when Twitch live streams go live, and Twitter exists, and I am starting to do some notifications down there if you prefer that. But I'm not doing them as consistently as I should be. It's better to join Discord and get the role of notification. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, then the YouTube link will instead be replaced with a Twitch link, which is where I live stream all of these originally. The Discord and Twitter links will still be down below. So with that, thank you everyone for watching this, both on Twitch and on YouTube in the future. And yeah, bye! And for all of you people on Twitch, let's go give Matoro a no-name raid. I don't know. Alright. Bye, and let's go do that. Alright, I've set it up to raid. Actually, it'll take a few seconds, so let's wait for those few seconds to go on. Sorry people on YouTube, you have to listen to this. Actually, if you're still around now, I don't know, say something that you're still around now. Okay, bye.